Food and culture of Mexico. So I just wanted to start off this presentation with some background information. As it is common knowledge, Mexico is located south of the United States border, and over 80% of Mexicans are mestizos, a mixture of Indian and Spanish ancestry. Cultural background and food preparation. Family is very important in the Mexican culture. In a typical Mexican family, the man works to provide for shelter, for food, different things like that. And while the man is working to provide for this, the woman stays home and takes care of the children, the house, and all cooking responsibilities. Mexican families are typically very patriarchal. Another word that can be used to describe this is called machisto or machizo. About 70% of Mexican families do have a male leader of the house. Some common ingredients in the Mexican diet are corn, squash, beans, tomato, and cocoa. One very prominent food that I wanted to touch base on was tortillas. Tortillas are flatbread, like bread item is made of corn. Um, they are very popular in the Mexican diet. They are seen at almost every single meal. And based on which part of Mexico you're in, they can be made differently. The two most common types of tortillas are flour and corn. Other prominent foods in Mexican diet are meat. Mexican are meat lovers. They either make their meat in one dish meals like caldo, which is pictured here, and that's actually called caldo de res, and it's made with more of a steak-like meat. It's really good. They either make them in one dish meals, or they also either grill or fry the meat. So on this slide, I actually have a couple of pictures of traditional, real, authentic tacos. And then also we have carne asada, which is just grilled steak. In the Mexican diet, we use chile peppers to season the food and also a lot of lime. And with the chili peppers, that's where you get the super spicy Mexican food that everybody knows and loves. Religion and the Mexican culture. A majority of Mexicans follow the Catholic religion, and religion is something that is very important. Um, it is seen in the family a lot. That if you are not religious, it is seen as disrespectful. In the Mexican culture, going to church is very important. In a small study, roughly 4 out of 10 families said that they go to church at least once per week. Dia de los Reyes is one of the holidays that is celebrated in the Mexican culture, and that translates to Three Kings Day, and it is a religious holiday. So at this holiday celebration, there's something called Roca de Reyes, and this is a pastry that is served. It is a ring-like shaped loaf of bread that is made with raisins, and the special thing about this bread is there is actually baby Jesus figurines baked into the bread. And once, if you're eating this bread and you come across a piece of the baby Jesus, you actually have to throw a party the next month on February 2nd for another religious holiday as well. The other holiday that I wanted to speak about is called Dia de los Muertos, and it also is known as Day of the Dead. So on this holiday, Mexican families bake bread in the shape of skulls and also bake their family's favorite foods. And they put them on an altar as offerings for the loved ones who have passed. And the cool thing about Day of the Dead is that it is believed that the gates of heaven are open on October 31st. And that the spirits can actually pass to our side, and the families can become closer to those that have passed on. Due to huge intake of carbohydrates and sugar, and also lack of exercise, many Mexicans are overweight. The diabetes rate is 2 times higher than other populations, and other health concerns for Mexicans include alcohol intake in men and gallbladder issues. According to the CDC, Mexican American men, about 44% of Mexican American men are obese, and about 51.3% of Mexican women are obese. So I just wanted to add in this chart in here, and it shows like the frequencies of foods that are consumed in a typical Mexican diet. Obviously, it shows that there is an extreme intake of sugar, over 400% more than what somebody should typically be eating. There's also a lot of grains and starchy food items that are seen in the diet, and these have been known to cause hypertension, to cause diabetes and obesity, and there's a lot of that seen in Mexican culture. In the Mexican culture, healthcare is seen as hierarchy of healers. When somebody gets sick, normally either a senora or abuela is sought out for health advice, and when they decide the steps that need to be taken, a lot of Mexicans actually go to herbalists, and these herbalists are called yerberos. And they use many different herbs to heal, and a lot of them use prayer as well. And they are taken to senior barrows whether it's a mental illness or a physical illness. Use of food and herbs is very common when it comes to healing. Some examples of herbs that are used in Mexican culture for cures is mint for nausea, passion flower for hypertension, and garlic for toothaches.